There's so much variety. I mean, there's so much is available to the customer. But at the end of it, the customer has to pick one or two that the customer likes. And this is one scenario which is very commonplace. We all find this problem. This is also another thing which is there, that you go to the market and then at the end of it you find you don't know what actually to take home. So either we'll take a lot of them or you'll take none. Which is what, when we did this is a result of some of the study that we are doing at the institute. I'm involved in actually finding out how to create assortments which are as customized as possible. That's whether it is physical store or whether it is online store, something. And this is part of that study that I'm sharing with you. For example, let's look at this, one of the European retailers. They get huge number of customers, right? But look at the cart abandonment that happens. People pick up the product, they put it in the cart, and then they don't buy, right? End up with less than a percent of original what you're saying, right? So look at another retailer from Europe. There's something which happens to them, right? Even if you just compare the previous one, look at the average order size, which is just about $62. The next retailer is about $650, but the behavior is exactly the same. Whether it is it's not the price actually which is driving it, right? You look at other. This is an Indian retailer that you're looking at with an average purchase of about 1,500 rupees, and still the conversion rates are about 1%. Another retailer is Indian retailer has about an average purchase of. Now you're getting about 24 million people visiting your site. But what you end up with that is about just 1%, which means so many people come, they look at your site, look at your store, come back, and then they're not buying. Or you look at some other retailer. This is again a European retailer that you're looking at. So this is a US-based retailer, one of the largest US-based retailers, where the figures are like this. So essentially what is happening is consumers are happy having a choice, but what is happening is the choice is something that is conceptually what we call is something called a choice overload. People are saying there's too much choices, so what do I do? And therefore they abandon the cart. And in fact, a lot of factors which are given. If you take the first one out, which has to do with pricing, is essentially people are saying that I'm finding it difficult to decide what is it that I should pick. So I would put in the cart and then decide whether to buy it or not. And that's the basic difference between an offline and an online. In an offline, you know what you're buying, so you pick 2 or 3 which you would have decided to buy, and then you at the end of it pay for it. Whereas in online, people are first adding to cart. It also has to do with the way shopping happens, which is more sequential than parallel, as in case of a physical store. So I'll skip this. So essentially, if you look at it, some of the studies say that the total time that a customer would spend in deciding what to buy will remain the same, whatever choices you give, right? And that's why you can see the tapering of that graph, that after some time, the cognitive resources become limited as human beings, and therefore, more than that choice, I'm not very happy with it. So there is a U shape of, or what you call as the diminishing rate of return that a consumer shows as far as making choices is concerned. Does it mean that we offer, so therefore the whole concept of the store offering you a one-stop solution, does it make sense, and how much does it make sense is something that all of us will have to solve as this thing, both as brands as well as the retailers, because the kind of number of choices that are available, even if I'm just one brand, but when a consumer goes there, there's so many brands available there. So how do I make that thing more relevant, and especially to a segment which wants novelty, which wants excitement, which wants engagement? How do we make it happen? And that's the challenge that we are saying. Interestingly, if you compare the physical world and the virtual world, virtual shopping is all image-based. And research shows that image-based shopping is much more stressful as compared to a text-based, where you essentially go and read what the product has. And therefore, more choices may not always mean more sale, as simple as that. So how do we actually make it more and more attractive to consumers to to come on that. And that's exactly the question that comes to us, back to us, is that while we create these options, while we are giving them choices, will these ways of actually making them involved, right, change these data? That's my question, is that, right? So many people coming in as one single, what do you call, a brand, I'm involving people, but will that get translated into sale when it comes to buying? That's the question that is there. And therefore, what is the level and what places and what medium do we use to actually keep this particular segment engaged? Becomes very, very important, doesn't it?